On our morning show today, it is our time to talk about the Hill and Valley Exploration Tour, a celebration of rural living. Back to chat with us, as they have now for the previous many years, Dorothy Harms and Lisa Butno, as we talk about this exciting event. The time is here. You ladies were here just a year ago, Lisa, and it seems like it was only last week.
Yeah, but we pulled in the parking lot and said, here we are again. It's a beautiful time of the year.
It is.
For a conversation.
Dorothy, certainly it's an event that kind of sells itself, doesn't it?
It really does. Just in its title, Hill and Valleys, that's kind of what it's all about here in the Driftless region, and just getting out and exploring all of that. I think Mother Nature is starting to cooperate with us. We're getting a few pops of color, of fall colors, and so I think it'll be a wonderful time to be out driving around and visiting the businesses that are beyond the tour this year.
Has it always been the last couple of weekends of September?
I think the very first tour we used the first 2 weekends in October, but after that we moved it to the last 2 in September. And this is a great time. The color's starting, but yet we still have flowers. The harvest is starting, but yet it's not going full blown, so we're not in their way. It's a good time of year.
Would one of you want to talk a little bit about the history and how it got started?
Sure. Back in 2017, Bob Toby, he was a local plumber. He came into the Branding Iron and he said, do you think we can do a tour? There were some tours going on in the area that were moving out of the area, and they were really helpful for the local economy. And Bob said, do you think we should do one? And I thought, yeah, maybe we should do one, and I wonder if we can. So I gave Dorothy a call, and Carr Valley a call, and Narrows Creek Winery a call, and pretty soon we had 13 venues, and we had the first tour. The map was hilarious. It was just a photocopy, and then now we have this gorgeous map. In 2018, Trish Duran, she's from the Richland Center area originally. She's a graphic artist, and she joined on, and she said, a quality event needs a quality map. And so she started us with this 4-color brochure that we have now. And, there's just been so many people who've popped in on the tour to get us going in the right direction. And Trish is just an example of one of them.
From humble beginnings, then,
yes.
Those 13 stops, how many do you have now on the tour for 25?
So this year we've got 21 stops on the tour. Are happy to say that of those 21, 7 of them are new this year to the tour. So there's a lot for folks to get out and see. Of course, those of us who've been on the tour all these years really want you to come visit us as well. But I think there's just a variety of venues. I like to say from alpacas to zinnias, okay, A to Z. There's something for everybody on this tour.
Some people, Dorothy, probably maybe just go to one or two of their favorites, and I'm sure there are a lot that just try to get every one. It's a good challenge to try and find every one of them, I'm sure.
It is. It gets you out in some of those those country roads that maybe you don't travel very often, and to just get out and kind of see where these folks are at. And, that's really kind of the whole point. Each of us have businesses at our own home, our own farm. We really don't have the capacity to have a brick and mortar store in Reedsburg, in Loganville, in Richland Center. But we have a viable business that we want to let folks know about, whether we have local food to offer, whether it's flowers, whether it is art. These businesses are here to let people know what they've got.
Primarily in the Richland County, Sauk County area, is that correct?
And we have a little bit up into Juneau. We have Waniwak.
Okay.
To encourage people to see as many as possible, we do this program called the Explore HVE Tours, and we reworked it this year a little bit. So for each venue that you go to, they'll have a punch station set up, and you'll get a punch. And if you go to 10, you get 10 entries to get a gift certificate drawing that we do. Or if you go to 1, you get 1 entry. So there's not, that way, like you said, take the challenge, see as many as you want, or just pick out your favorites. It whatever suits you. It's just a wonderful time of year to be out and about, checking out these direct sales businesses. We don't, like Dorothy said, it's all direct sales, small businesses in the community, rural setting that don't have the ability to advertise in a wide way that we can collaboratively. So that's one of the goals, is we collaboratively collaboratively advertise to bring as many people to the little businesses as we can. That way their businesses are viable.
Is there a good place to start, or does it not make any difference, Dorothy?
It doesn't necessarily make any difference. I know we have numbers on each spot, and for some folks, that's kind of how they are oriented. They have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. But really, you can either get a copy of the event guide. I think we've got some here at Richland's tourism office.
Mm-hmm.
We've got them at the Reedsburg Chamber. They're available online. If you can download a copy from our website, explorehillandvalley.com.
You can call you can call Reedsburg Area Chamber, and Christina's very happy to mail one out to you.
So take time, and get the map and kind of plan your route to get out. And we've got 4 days, so Saturday, Sunday, this coming weekend, the following weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So whether you decide, maybe we'll do Saturday, we'll do one group, and Saturday and Sunday the next, or one weekend we'll take a day, and then the second weekend. There's 21 venues. I kind of dare say you'd be challenged to do them all in one day.
No, I think you would. You'd be motoring.
And when you're planning, you'll want to go to everyone's Facebook page and on the Explore Hill and Valley Facebook page, because everyone plans special events, and they're starting to populate. There's hay rides, and the Branding Iron's got a ton of food specials. We've got smoked brisket, and we've got a special pizza night where we get stuff from each one of the venues. We'll have chicken wings, smoked chicken wing specials, and then there's other venues are also doing the kind of fun stuff, special events for the tour. So you'll want to look at the different pages to see what's going on where.
I like the brochure, and I'm old school. I like a map. And
Yeah.
I guess my question is, would GPS find all these places? Are there some places where you might lose it or not?
Well, that's the thing. We do have a Google map that has, if you go to the website, you can click on the Google map and download it onto your phone. So they say, I have no idea what that means. I'm just repeating what I've been told. But, if you know how it is. Cell service is kind of sporadic. AT&T works sometimes, except in Reedsburg, and U.S. Cellular works sometimes, and so you're going to want to have a paper map too, just to back up. Backup's good.
Yeah, and it lists all your sponsors and even.
Oh yeah, we had a great sponsors this year.
Yeah.
Just WRCO is one of them, and we really appreciate it.
Proud to be there, absolutely, and some other good ones as well. You couldn't do it without them, and I'm guessing it's kind of a 365-day-a-year planning process for this, isn't it?
It is, and I might mention. So as this event has grown, we developed a board this last year of members that to really kind of be the ones that kind of do the hands-on and the heavy lift of getting things organized. Finding the sponsors, looking at where is our best dollars spent advertising, and just kind of organizing all of this. And I think that's really helped. Like I said, just stabilize all of this and kind of put it all together. Our board really worked hard this year, I think, to really present like the best tour ever for folks to come out and enjoy.
Lisa, is there some music involved in the tour as well?
Some of the venues have music. Some, I know that Edgewood, the Painted Forest has music. I know Narrows Creek Winery has music. Some of the venues do indeed have music. So you just have to check who's doing what on the Facebook pages. And it's a really fun event.
I'm thinking for families too. It's kind of a nice thing to bring everybody along. And
it is. There's several of our venues are really great kid friendly stops. We've got Country Roots. Corn maze, so corn maze for the kids to get out. I know Heather has got like a whole CSI investigation set up for that. Another really fun one is the Idaho Valley, the IDES Greener Grass Collective. It's a mouthful, and they've got this wonderful playscape for kids to get out and explore on their farm. And several, I might say, several of the farms that are new to the tour this year are young families, and one of our goals have always been to help support young farmers and getting them a leg up. And so several of them have just their kids will be there. They'll have animals for you to pet, to touch, places to play. And so I think this is definitely a family friendly event.
I think we should kind of go through the map, maybe if we could, and maybe you guys can take turns and kind of talk about the places that we can see during this year's tour.
Oh, we'd be glad to. I think I'll go ahead and start. Just outside of Bear Valley is Mary's Organic Farm. Mary Knockreiner and Rob Haar have been members of the tour in the past. If you're looking for organic food products, they're going to be on your list. They've got their certified organic eggs, grass-fed belted Galloway beef, their farm store, walking trails, elderberry tea. So they've got a lot there, and they really are kind of tucked up into the woods there. But definitely, folks that if you want certified organic, they're folks that you want to see.
And if you want to get out of the car and walk around, they're the place. They're a good place to do that, as well as Fern Creek Retreat. Kathy and Frank are new to the tour this year, and they have a beautiful property. And Frank's an old farmer who's retired, but you can't take a farmer out of the growing season. They just can't be stopped. So he's now doing mushrooms. So he's got all sorts of mushrooms that they're growing, wine caps and shiitakes and oysters, and they're also doing flower events, and they have farm lodging there too. It's a really great spot. Again, you can get out of the car, wander around, take the kids. They're very kid friendly there too. They've got lots of grandkids. They're used to little people screaming and running about. So that's another kid friendly one.
All right, so kind of going more over to eastern part of the territory here, Wilkinson Farm Meat and Produce. They're located on County Highway PF. Jackie and Greg Wilkinson, I don't know how they do it all. They've got all the proteins. So they've got beef, they've got pork, chicken, lamb. They have eggs. She has gardens, so she'll have produce. I think she'll have plenty of pumpkins available for folks if they want to get their pumpkins for decorating or for pie. I know Jackie is going to also have several other bonus businesses there. So she, in her farm store, has a lot of other small businesses that she supports. So I know she's going to be having Peach Pops will be one of the vendors there. I know one of a personal favorite around the two of us, a coffee truck, so and a petting zoo. Again, for kid friendly, a place for kids to enjoy.
But it's also adult friendly because adults like to pet animals too.
Sure.
But then we go up to the Mead King, which is our most eastern venue, and that is this nondescript little building right on the side of 154, right outside Rock Springs. But you walk up along the side of it, and they have a really lovely patio in the back. And then when you go inside, they've got they make mead, which is wine made from honey, and then they add stuff to it. They add fruit, and then that becomes melamine, and they're really a nice setting there, and it's really adult friendly and alcoholic beverages, and it's really sweet. You'll enjoy that stop.
Some of these stops you might stop for several hours. Then it sounds
yes.
like whatever you desire.
Yes.
Right. Then heading over on 154, going between Loganville and Hill Point, is Country Roots, Corn Maze, and Market. Reed and Heather Broughton and their family. Again, they have the Corn Maze. I think just really a ton of fun for folks, no matter what your age. And she's also has some beautiful mums for sale, pumpkins, and I think she'll have her small farm store available. I believe she has a few artists that'll be at her location as well. One of the aspects about this tour, while we have 21 businesses that are venues or stops on the tour, several of our businesses have invited other small businesses to be a part of it. They may not be able to they don't have the location that's right for this, or they're just really a much smaller business. But to be able to partner with one of our venues, just really adds value to them and adds value to the stop. And so, I believe, all total, we've got almost 40 businesses represented on this tour.
That's what I was going to say. It's not just 21. You add, multiple people at some of those stops too. So.
And that's, that multiplier effect, right? Is about, it lifts up everybody who it belongs on this tour.
Yeah.
It's a very inclusive event, and we try to involve as many people as are interested. So if you are interested and you're a small business, reach out. I mean, we are inclusive. We are not going to exclude anyone who understands our mission and supports it and has the same values. We just want to help small businesses in the rural area. We want to help small farmers. We want to educate people about rural living. So yeah, reach out. But as we continue on the tour, now we're going to head a little bit over to another adult-friendly venue, the Narrows Creek Winery. That's run by Vicki and Dean, and they make really fun fruit wines that they grow all the fruit in the area. They buy it from their neighbors. They support a lot of people in the area. They also have like a little artist market. They've got Sue Ann Seepak. She is from Hillsborough area, and she comes down with all her original oil paintings. Glitzy Garden Stained Glass. They're from the Baraboo area, and they make these they're works of art to put in your garden. They are glitzy and they're stained glass and they glisten. They're just beautiful. She'll also have on the second weekend the Freedom Pines Pottery and Plants folks. They're from the Baraboo area too. And then Sister Time Creations, which makes different craft items, which are really fun gifts. And then she'll also have the Willow Valley Saddle Club. Now, these folks you see their fun shows that they put on in Laval at the Team Penners, and they do a really fun gourmet cheese stand. They get the cheese from Car Valley, which there's a lot of collaborations that happen on this tour, and that's one of them. They'll get their ingredients from Car Valley, and they'll make like a blueberry cheddar grilled cheese. Super fun.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, me too.
All right, heading just up the road from the winery is Country Junk, owned by Dan and Sherry Stolte. They are specialists in salsa and spaghetti sauce. I mean, just the most amazing spaghetti sauces, salsas, that they can. They also have maple syrup. And then Dan is kind of a collector of vintage farm items and stuff and decor. And so there'll be some of that available for sale as well.
It sounds interesting, and all I can think of is the great photo opportunities here for a lot of people. I'm guessing a lot of people have their phones out, won't they?
Yes, and it's just so beautiful this time of year. And then just right around the corner, you go north, and then you go off to the east, and you go to Narrows Valley Supply. These folks are new to the tour this year too. Country Junk was on last year, so this is their second year, and then Narrows Valley, it's their first year. They are an Amish-owned family farm supply store, a hobby farm supply store. They've got hunting goods. They've got a consultation service to help you if you want to know what to plant, if you've got questions about what to feed your horses. They've got some specialty grains there. They're a full feed store. They have a hobby farm store. They have beekeeping supplies, gloves. They got a little bit of everything there, and they also do non-GMO eggs and meat birds, which they have processed chickens available. They are closed Sundays, so if you want to visit them, you're going to want to make sure you plan on the Saturdays.
For sure. And I said, I'll vouch for that. Their chickens, they're delicious. I got them from my own freezer. So, well, just up the road is our own venue, Valley Springs Farm Bed and Breakfast. My husband, Don, and I are on County Road S, and we have a farm stay lodging in which people can come and stay and experience life on the farm. During the tour, we will have our 100% grass-fed beef products available for sale. Some of my gourmet jams and jellies. This year we will have apples and pumpkins available for sale. Just that the items our family has grown and will have available. I'm going to have some of my homemade pie by the slice available for sale. So midway, you just got to have a little bit of a dessert. You can take that along.
What kind are you planning?
Well, I got a lot of apples, man.
Ooh.
I got a lot of apples. So I do have some raspberries too. So maybe some raspberry pie.
Or combine them, raspberry apple.
Well, that would be something now, wouldn't it? and each year we try to do something for a local charity, and so we will be hosting UTV farm tours out into our pastures to do a meet and greet with our cattle for a donation to Farmer Angel Network. So another organization that I am very passionate about.
And the cattle are willing then?
They are. They are. Yep. They just kind of nod their heads and go, oh, yep, they bring in more people again.
If they could only talk, it'd be interesting to see.
It would be interesting.
It helps when you feed them out of the UTV.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Now, that was one of the events I'm talking about. Like, you'll have to visit the website and the Facebook pages to see all these fun little events that are popping up, that, like this UTV ride at Valley Springs Farm. The next one is the Greener Grass Collective. So you're going to pop over the hill and you're going to go to the Greener Grass Collective at Idaho Valley Farm. Now, one of the things, we've got a lot of beef producers and a lot of protein producers on this tour. And one of the things I like to talk about is terroir. You know, people talk about terroir with wine. It's a fancy term, but I personally think you can really taste it in your animal proteins. So I personally encourage people, bring your cooler, sample beef from all of them, because it's not going to taste the same. And talk to the farmers about what they're feeding, how they're raising their animals. This is really a good educational experience for people who aren't familiar with how animals are raised, to see and then to appreciate the difference in the flavor, in the texture, and things like that. It's really important. The other product that I really find is fun with terroir is honey. Depending on what those bees eat, it really affects the flavor of the honey. So you'll see that we have a number of honey producers on the tour. And I mean, I have terrible allergies this year, and so I'm eating my local honey that's feasting on ragweed and goldenrod, trying to get my immune system to stop reacting so violently. But that's one of the things the old wives' tales say. Maybe it's good medicine, I don't know, but I'm trying it. But back to the Greener Grass Collective after that soapbox. They do rotationally pasture-raised, no hormone, antibiotic, or herbicide beef and pork. So they have the fuzzy cattle with the horns, Highland cattle or lowland cattle.
Highlanders,
not lowlanders, Highlanders. And they're really cute. They also have local breeds, like heritage breeds pork that is pasture raised, and it's really fun. And they'll come up and you can feed them apples. Usually they have like a little food stand. Again, this is a very kid-friendly event. And also Justina, she's the wife. It's Nate and Justina Eide. Is a wonderful artist. She makes very delicate watercolors, and she also makes wonderful crochet pattern art. It's beautiful pieces. So that's a fun spot. And they also have that. What would you call it?
The Playscape?
The Playscape. That's what they have out there.
People should check it out.
Yeah.
We're about halfway through our tour. We'll take a break and come back with the other half.
Okay.
And preview some of the other places you can see on this year's Hill and Valley Exploration Tour. Dorothy Harms and Lisa Butno in the studio, and we'll have more in just a moment. The Hill and Valley Exploration Tour. Lisa and Dorothy are in the studios to talk about this year's tour, which begins this very weekend and continues next as well. You also want to talk a little bit about an online auction that's going on as we speak, right?
That's right. One of the ways that we support the efforts that we do is a online auction fundraiser. Many of our venues have donated items, kind of really some nice high-value items, actually, that are on the online auction. So to find out information about that, you can go to either Judd Realty, who is the sponsor for this auction, or to Hanson Auction Group and find the Hill and Valley auction tour. Just for an example, there's some wine packages. I know there's an overnight stay. There's some artwork. There's some of the food items that'll be available for auction. So, hey, get in there and bid high, bid often. The auction will be going until the following Tuesday after this first weekend. And once the auction closes, folks can go back out on that second weekend and collect their winning items. So
Awesome.
just want to let folks know about that.
How do they pay for it then? Through Judd Realty then?
Through Judd Realty, yes. Yeah.
Or they can pay cash when they pick it up. There's
Yeah.
multiple ways. We'll take cash. We'll take checks. There is on our website, explorehillandvalley.com, there is an auction page that has the links on it if you want to try that to get to it. And the brochure does have a QR code. So if you're into that too with your little phone and you're a techie, you can take that and run. So there's lots of options.
We left off about halfway through our tour. Who wants to start again?
I can go ahead.
All right, Dorothy.
So I'm really happy to, new to the tour this year is Cold Spring Farm. They're located just outside of Lime Ridge on Highway K. Young farm family have just started their dairy farm there. They had been raising beef and pork and lamb in the past, and so they will have those meats for sale. Get out and support young people like this. Like I said, these are the future of farming in our communities, and we've got to really kind of lift them up and kind of really help give them a leg up to keep going.
Yeah, and they've diversified. They're doing some things, thinking outside the box a little bit, aren't they?
Sure.
Yeah. Where else are we going this week?
Then we're going to head up the road to Narrows Creek Garden. We're going to head down towards Lime Ridge. Mel and Sandy Smith, they're they've been there a long time, but they're started at Aronia berry farm. And this year the Aronia berries aren't doing so great, but you can get information about it. You can get plants if you're interested in plants. He also does a lot of interesting gardening technique ideas. He tries different things, lasagna gardening. He runs experiments all the time. He also really is a big fan of those geodesic domes, which are apparently very structurally sound. And I really enjoy talking to Mel, so I think you will too. Just stop in and check out what's going on there. And he'll have some of his neighbors who are small producers who just have a bushel of this and a bushel of that. He'll have them set up too. They'll bring their products to his place. So it's a really nice stop.
You bring up a good point, too. I think a lot of these folks would like to be asked about their things and give information, right?
Yeah, why not talk to the local experts, right? Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Talk right to them, face to face.
You bet. So next we go just across from the Branding Iron. Another new venue coming to us this year is Blue House Blooms. Dean and Cindy Johnson have amazing flower gardens, and I think coming to visit them, you can give yourself a sense of peace just walking through all her beautiful flowers. She has cut flowers available for sale during the Hill and Valley tour, but they're, again, great folks to visit with and really knowledgeable about the different varieties of flowers and how many different colors of dahlias can you actually get, right? So be sure and stop to see those folks at Blue House Blooms.
We go to the Branding Iron next, right across the road.
Yep. But I'm a big fan of Dean and Cindy. And Dean is also got an apiary going for the bees. And he is, like all of us, he's got, older, he's retired and his shoulders are those rotator cuffs. They don't last forever. And so he's got a very special system there where they're horizontal rather than vertical for the bees. And he's also going to be he'll show you, if you're interested in this vertical beekeeping rather than the horizontal, which is very heavy to pick up. These you can just, if you could only see my hand movements, I'm showing everyone how to pick them up. And then you can go and he'll have some shortbread cookies that he seasoned with his honey. He'll have whipped honey. He'll have some of his favorite things. And again, like I said, the honey is one of those products where you think it's all the same, it looks the same color, but it's not. It's very dependent on what they feasted on. And these guys feasted on flowers, so it's really fun. And then after wandering there, you wander back across the street to the Branding Iron, and where we grow our own beef. My partner, Steve Fearing, he grows the beef, and I cook it. And again, we do other events. I've partnered up with Dorothy in the past where we've cooked her beef so people can try it and see it. And I like to do that. I like to get things from the local farmers. And we've got a number of events. We've got a wood-fired oven pizza night on the first night. And I've I've gotten for the 6 pizzas, I've pulled ingredients from each of the local farms, including the dahlia farms. Because did you know dahlias are edible?
I did not know
So,
that. And on a
yeah.
pizza too?
Yeah, but we sprinkle them on afterwards, and it's just so fun. They're so beautiful, and then they just little golden gems on top of a pizza. The last Saturday, Steve is smoking jumbo chicken wings, one of his favorite things, and he grew the own jalapenos from his own garden, and that's really fun. And then we're going to have smoked brisket all 4 days. We have 143 pounds of brisket to smoke. We've run out in the past, so hopefully we won't this time, but we're going to have that for all 4 days. In fact, I'm also going to make a smoked brisket pizza. So
Sounds delicious.
yeah, we're trying. And then, we just keep coming up with fun things. So make sure you keep checking the Facebook and the website as they pop up.
Do you have music during those two?
Steve really wants me to, but I don't right now. So if someone wants to do a busser, is that what they call them? A
Busker.
Busker? A busker. I lost my K there. If there's someone wants to busker, just give me a call. I'm sure we can fit you in.
Awesome.
All right. One of our kind of keystone members has been Car Valley Cheese. Again, long-standing reputation of award-winning cheese. Again, one of those places where you can get some of the best tasting cheeses in the Midwest. And so
Truly world class. You could buy their awards. They have world class awards.
You bet. And they will be open both Saturday and Sunday. I just wanted to make that update that just had changed. So they will be open both Saturday and Sundays on both weekends.
It's worth the trip for the curd too.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
Right?
For sure.
We'll be using it on a pizza. We're having our Wisconsin pizza, which features those wonderful little cheese curds. And then we're heading north to the Ernest Huperdin's Painted Forest. Now, this is one of my favorite things, and it's like this it's this very nondescript little white building, and inside it are these wonderful visionary murals painted in the 1898 area, and they depict the initiation ceremony for the modern woodsmen of America. And it's just a fascinating story, and there's so much history there and so much art, and they'll be open both weekends. And again, pop-up events are occurring, and you'll just have to keep looking. They'll have music on the last weekend, the last Sunday of the tour.
All right. And then maybe just a little bit south from there, just right off of Highway G, is Woodland Valley Farms Country Greenhouses. Russell and Kathy have by far probably the biggest variety of mum colors I think you're going to find in this area. And beautiful, beautiful mums, large, flowers, pumpkins galore, gourds galore, all the things that you want for your fall decorations. They are definitely a must stop on the tour.
I stopped there just the other day, and the butternut squash is humongous. And the selection of squash, they've got 4 or 5 varieties. They're all just, this year was a perfect year for squash. They did really well in this weather. So if you're a winter squash person, stock up because they last. That's why they call them winter squash. Then we're off to Spirit Valley Alpacas, and this is a really fun spot. It's kid-friendly, adult-friendly. Everybody loves fuzzy, cute, cuddly little alpacas, so I recommend this. She has a little store there that features alpaca fiber products, and she does various events throughout the year, painting events, and she's got a hat-making event, so you'll want to get on her mailing list to make sure that you check out her website and her Facebook page, because everybody loves fuzzy little alpacas.
No doubt. Another photo opportunity there.
Yeah.
For sure. And I just, as Lisa kind of mentioned that while, many of these venues are going to having this big event during the Hill and Valley Tour, some of them are year-round businesses. Some of them are kind of a limited seasonal type of business. But, it's about developing that relationship with consumers so that they know where to go when they want delicious winter squash or flower tasting honey, or all of those things. So so that you don't have to go just for these 2 weekends, but you kind of know now where you can be their long-term customer. So with that, we are going to Laval. So kind of a nice link and a nice addition this year is BC Arts Gallery. Bobby Cahoon curates this art gallery, and they have over 30 different artists that have items for sale there. It's located kind of on Highway 33, kind of on the main drag through Laval. He's been so excited about being a part of this tour, and really he's been promoting us at some of the local parades. So he's been all in. And but I think there's just if the art is your thing, I think there's something for everybody there at their gallery. So make sure you just stop and check it out.
And then we're off to another protein producer, Redstone Valley Farm. Now, they're new to the tour, and they're only open on the first weekend. So if you want to see them, when you're planning, you're going to want to make sure you plan for that first weekend. And I don't know if any of you folks visited the McWilliams. They're right near them, and McWilliams was on our tour for a couple years, and they are super cheerleaders, supporters of Redstone. In fact, they invited them, helped them find us. And again, they do the eggs, the beef, the pork. They have produce. And like I said earlier, try the different meats. Get some that it's not just chicken. It's chicken grown a certain way and fed a certain way. And it's not just beef. I mean, they talk to your farmer, ask him what they're feeding them so that you can see what you like. And then you can come back and buy half a cow, buy a quarter of a cow if you've got the freezer space.
Sure.
All right. And then number 21 on our list is the Little Cow Farm Store, or known as TLC. Nicole and Dwayne Lurvy operate a dairy outside of Waniwak called Legendary Dairy, and they have kind of ventured into opening a small farm store in Waniwak. It's located at the old Rayovac warehouse, and they will have not only their own microgreens and their own privately labeled cheese. I did try some of their Heyday cheddar, and it is delicious. It's just something I think you really want to just try it. But she will also be showcasing several other local producers in her farm store there. Again, just kind of ranging from jams, jellies, honey, syrup, other meats, metalwork. So I think a place that you really want to check out when you're up in the Waniwak area.
Wow, that takes us through the tour. Certainly, last but not least, but lots of things going on this week and next week. And what are the hours, Lisa?
There is a chart in the brochure, and I'm going to post it on the Facebook later today. And it's in alphabetical order because we have. And you can find your venue, and then it'll have the hours that they're open. Like the Branding Iron is open 11 to 8 on the Saturdays and 11 to 6 on the Sundays. And other venues have different hours. Narrows Valley Supply, they're open on 8 to 5 on the Saturdays. And like we said, the one we did, the TLC, they're 10 to 4. And then there's the Redstone Valley Farm, where they're only open on the first weekend. So you'll find this little chart right on the brochure. And I want to point out that this brochure is got a beautiful chicken on it, and this is the original artwork of Peg Durkin, and she is so generous to us, and she just lent us this image to use. And I did the brochure this year, and I found her artwork so inspiring that I really upped our game with this brochure, because I wanted to have the same caliber of a brochure as this artwork that we had to work with. It's just stunning, beautiful work. And Peg is the art teacher in Ithaca, and she really takes care of those students. And so, if you can support Peg, please do. She's a great artist.
And again, we have brochures here at the depot in Richland Center as well.
Yes,
right?
Marty has them to distribute. Yep, he sure does. And Oakwood Fruit Farm has it. That
Oh,
was really
great.
fun. They called and asked if we could drop some off there so they could share them for us. And they're not on the tour, but they're a great little business. So if you're swinging through there and need some apples, we don't have any orchards on our tour this year, so that'd be the one to go to and grab a brochure while you're there.
It's amazing, and I'm wondering. It's a lot of work to put it together. Have you ever thought of doing two, like doing one in the spring and one in the fall? Or no.
Well, we kind
kind
of
of
do.
do.
We kind of do. So in the spring, in Reedsburg had been Sacred Heart Church had hosted a food fair, a spring farmers market in the first or second weekend of March. Just kind of by attrition, that has kind of moved on to our plate, and so in the springtime, we host that event. Still located at the Sacred Heart School Gym. It seems like everybody knows and looks for that in the spring. It's kind of that time where we've had a long winter. We're looking for green and good food, and it's such a great gathering of community coming together, and we have almost 30 vendors that come to that event. So I think it's like March 7th or 8th, I believe, is marked on the calendar for next year.
It's the second Saturday in March.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, always a good time. We hope people will take part in this and be a part of it. It's nice where you can maybe, you've got a busy day one day, but you can go on Sunday or vice versa, or maybe just a couple of stops one day. And it also kind of gives us an excuse, maybe some places you've driven by, like we should stop there sometime. This is a great chance.
Exactly.
Right, and like little things that you'd like, the meadery, it's so cute, and it's just this nondescript building in the front, and it's so cute. When you go inside, you'll really enjoy it. And did you even know it was a meadery? I mean, it's open, and we got extra signs and pointing, so it's really a fun trip. It's a fun tour. You meet so many neat things.
Yeah,
We may have talked about this last year, the fact that so many businesses in that area. I don't know that this is common. Why do you think that is, that you've got so many in just in that little area of Sauk, Richland, and Juneau?
It's a great place to live. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, and I think too, it really has become kind of a hotbed, and through some of our efforts, and I think some of the other groups have really kind of tried to lift this up, right? To that, this is a way that we should continue to live, to support our local businesses. I think all around us there are a lot of things that aren't making people happy, but let's kind of really focus on the things that we can help to lift each other up and build community.
Well said. And you have a Facebook page. You have a
We've
site?
got the Facebook page, explore the Hill and Valley Exploration Tour, the website explorehillandvalley.com.
And if you want to email us, if you have any questions, explorehillandvalley@gmail.com. You can get your brochures at the Reedsburg Chamber. Just give them a call if you're from down, they'll mail them, or if you can get one from Marty at the chamber here. There's so many ways to get them, and all of the venues will have brochures. And again, like Dorothy said earlier, you can download one. It prints on 4 pieces of paper because the brochure is kind of big, and then you have to tape and assemble. But that's a fun project too.
I was just going to say, kind of look for the signs when you're out. We've got the directional signs kind of pointing people in the right direction, and looking for that rooster. That rooster's kind of been our logo, and you'll see that, and you're going the right way.
Awesome. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and next weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
You got it.
Sir.
So nice to see you ladies again.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Great to have you in the studio today. Lisa Butno and Dorothy Harms. Don't miss the Hill and Valley 2025 Exploration Tour, a celebration of rural living this weekend and next weekend.